Hi everyone, Kenzie Benali here. Welcome to our top 100 goals of the decade countdown, part 1. Today I'm counting down the top 100 goals scored in the decade 2010 to 2019. In this video, we're counting down goals 100 to 91. So let's get started, shall we? Goal number 100 came in September 2012 and was Jay Rodriguez's first goal in a Saints shirt.
Chaplow halfway inside Sheffield Wednesday territory. Plays it into Rodriguez again. Oh, what a touch from Rodriguez! And Rodriguez shoots! And that is quite brilliant! And that's the sort of class that Saints paid £7 million for.
As a person, he's a top lad. Everybody's played with Jay knows that. You know, he's humble, family man, and you know, really nice lad. And as a player, he's one of the best finishers I've ever played with. He somehow seems to hit the ball with his side foot so hard that I can't even work it out.
Well, it was a magic goal against Sheffield Wednesday, and obviously whenever any player scores their first goal, especially an attacker, it's a hugely significant moment for them. And the touch, it just sort of comes into him, and just the little flick and then the roll off the defender and then the clinical finish and that's kind of what you had from Jay. And the goal against Sheffield Wednesday really, not only did it set him off and running, but it really kind of typified what he offered. And then the extra thing that he added to his game was that ability to sort of run at players from deep as well. But that sort of technical ability and the finishing was just on show there in spades.
Schneiderlin might think about a shot here. Morgan Schneiderlin. Oh, what a goal that is!
Morgan was one of the best technical players I'd ever come across, but he was weak. He used to get knocked off the ball quite a lot.
He had the ability as a midfield player to play and see a short pass for little 1-2s and to play people in. But he could be on the right-hand side, look over his left shoulder and hit a 40-yard ball. Not many people can do that.
The goal against Nottingham Forest, where he just sort of screams it in, is kind of, in a way, it's not what you remember Morgan Schneiderlin for. It was, you know, goals were not necessarily a huge part of his game, but that absolute amazing technical quality that later was coupled with a physical ability to really mix it in any division in English football was you know, an incredible little period for him and for the club, and he was a real top player.
Look at this from Schneiderlin, leaving Yaya Toure on the deck. Not many do that.
Saints have the second goal, and they're moving down the right side with Chamberlain, and Chamberlain's releasing Hammond, and Barnard's in the middle if he can find him. It's crossed in, it's Chaplow! Oh! What a goal by Southampton!
I actually remember speaking to the gaffer actually before the game, and I'd been at the club then I think for about 7 or 8 games when I was on loan from Preston, and obviously looking to make things permanent, and a couple of half chances in games before, and he was like, you know, you're due one. I was like, yeah, I am due one really, because I'm always in and around the box. And I just remember obviously Dino going down the wing, which I like no idea what he was doing out there. Obviously Dino normally just sits in there, but he's going down. I thought, well, as I always did, I'm getting in the box. So he's found me on the edge of the box. I don't know if it was meant for me. And then obviously a nice controlled strike with the instep of the left volley, and always disappointed really that I never scored more goals, but it's definitely one of my good ones, and happy to get away. And I think after that, I think Nigel put pen to paper and made it permanent, and I was obviously chuffed to bits with that.
3 goals already in our countdown so far, and this goal against Chelsea in 2014 wasn't bad either.
Target left-footed, long clearance, looking for Pella as the out. Chest down from Pella is excellent, and as onside is Mane from Tadic's through ball. Mane's in behind Terry. Mane pass, Courtois!
Mane. Let me tell you something about Mane. Mane is my favourite modern-day player, modern-day striker. Let me tell you why. He's quick. He's sharp, he drops off, he draws defenders, and then slips in behind them. And as long as you've got somebody on the ball who is aware of his ability and his movement and is prepared to drop early balls in behind, Mane will always get in. He'll surprise defenders, he'll tease defenders. He's like Jinxie the cat. Now you see me, now you don't. And when he gets in behind, like he did on that goal, he's got in behind. Goalkeepers come, it's gone. Mane, for me, in this modern era, in this last 5 years, my favourite player.
Next up, we're looking at 2 goals scored by South American Saints. In a moment, we'll see a stunner from Gaston Ramirez, but here's some individual brilliance from GULY to PRADO.
Hammond at walking pace, back to Saint striker Lambert. GULY, oh GULY did well, GULY all the way, and GULY! Oh, ding dang, GULY! Southampton have broken the deadlock with a piece of Brazilian magic from GULY to PRADO.
The thing I remember most about GULY is that he was like an enigma. Nobody had heard of him before he came to the club. He sort of popped out of nowhere, courtesy of the chairman at the time, we all thought. And he was one of those players that was an enigma off the pitch and on it. He could go through games and do nothing, and then suddenly he'd turn it on and do something ridiculous in a very Brazilian way that you'd hope for.
On his day, mate, he was quality. Like I said, at first when he came, I think it took him a little while to get used to the English style of football, but later on in League One, and especially in the Championship, he was superb for us. He scored some important goals. He could do anything. He could header, he could dribble, he could pass, he could play in midfield, he could play as striker. He was a great addition for us, and I'm made up the fans took to it. The fans loved him, and like I said, he scored some important goals. It was a pleasure to play with GULY, actually. Yeah.
Ward-Prowse into LALLANA, lovely ball to Ramirez, centre of the pitch 35 yards out. Ramirez might just hit one from distance. Oh, that's a fantastic goal from Gaston Ramirez.
When Gaston arrived at Saints, there was this brief moment, I think, amongst the fans that it felt like Saints had arrived in the top flight, spending a loads of money on a South American player, a raw South American talent, a talisman, a number 10 for to really run the show for them out on the pitch. Didn't really work out like that, unfortunately, with Gaston, because though he had just masses of technical ability, I mean, there's probably not that many players that have played for Saints that have got the kind of technical ability he had. He just couldn't quite produce it, and I think the physicality was part of that. It was almost one of those guys, it was more frustrating because you could see what he could do. And the goal against Everton where he picks the ball up and he shoots from 25, 30 yards, absolutely nails it. The keeper should save it. I mean, it goes straight through the goalkeeper. Everton won't want to see that one again. But kind of summed up what he could do, but we just couldn't see enough of it because he just couldn't it was injuries, and there was just that constant, is he physically strong enough for this? He'd get bullied out of games too easily, bullied off the ball too easily. And I think that was a real shame because the excitement and the hype around him and then what he produced in flashes was something that was great, but it really was only flashes.
I first saw Adam Lallana when he was a boy playing at and the youth sides of the training ground. I used to go over and see some of the matches then, and he was a slight boy, very talented, very skillful on the ball, but used to get knocked about a bit. And I thought, if this boy can develop physically, one day he'll be a good player.
Here comes Lallana on the edge of the ball, a penalty area, Lallana! Oh, he's curled it in!
Well, that's a goal where he hasn't got time and space. He's just got enough time to receive the ball, skill-wise, turn. You know, it's that awareness and perception. It's immediate look up. Good players know where players are around there and the opposition, knows where the goalkeeper is. He's on the edge of the box, and within a split second, he chips the ball and it's a great goal, but it's the speed of thought and the technical ability to carry it out.
So many great goals so far, and this next one came in November 2017 when Saints put 4 past Everton, and this was the best of the bunch.
Stephen Davis, probably one of the best value pound for pound signings Saints have made in maybe ever, but definitely for a very, very long time. And the goal he scored against Everton in the 4-1 win kind of underlined what he brought to the team in terms of an attacking sense, in that he's part of the move, and then Ward-Prowse cuts it back, and it's a terrific finish from the edge of the box.
He was a really good team player, and I thought he was a good signing. That particular goal's gone down the right-hand side. It's a little 1-2 with Ward-Prowse. Once again, Ward-Prowse sees the angle, plays it to Davis. Davis picks it up. Not really a lot on, but somehow he manages to get it round the right-hand side of the goalkeeper and inside the post.
So what he contributed in the final third, sometimes I think even now is still overlooked, but in that period where Saints were really very successful, he was an absolutely massive part of that because of what he offered in attack.
And Cedric can keep the pressure on. He's got it back. Højbjerg on the right, crosses. Oh, there's a little slip, but it comes to Bertrand! What a strike that is from Ryan Bertrand!
He's top class. I think he's been one of our best players over the last few years. No doubt about it. He's top player. There's a lot of power in that, and you could see the goalkeeper is not even close to it. So, a fantastic strike.
He's a player that can get forward, bomb on. He's strong, can be aggressive defensively, and most notably sort of bombing forward, comfortable in possession of the ball, providing opportunities for his teammates, but again chipping in with some goals himself.
Oh, great to hear from a certain left back there, not exactly known for his goal scoring, but Ryan Bertrand has definitely made a contribution in attack, and there'll be more from him later on. But for now, let's carry on with our countdown. Here's goal number 91.
And the ball played in by Burnley is given away, and Redmond nicks it past the midfielder. Redmond running towards the penalty area, goes past another one, finds Sims in space, right hand edge of the box, crosses towards the back post, headed back into the 6-yard area. Gabbiadini turns and volleys, and the referee has given the goal to Southampton. He has his first goal since the middle of October, and Saints have levelled it late on in the last minute of normal time. It's Burnley 1, Saints 1.
There was something about Gabbiadini as some coaches and managers, they'll see something in a player and they'll believe in the player. You'll get another coach and another manager might not see that, might not fancy him. And that's why I love the game. It's a game of opinions. And I like Gabbiadini. I would have liked to have worked with Gabbiadini because he was a player who could score you goals around the box. And a lot of the goals that he scored weren't clean-cut goals. They were half chances. Sometimes you create goals where the movement's right and they're easy to finish off. Some goals are spectacular, but other goals, they're what I call half chances. And Gabbiadini was a goal scorer who could make half chances count.
Well, that's it for part 1. Click here to move on to part 2, where you'll see some great goals from Dusan Tadic and Nathaniel Klein.